lot of people are still feeling their way and where they're going and figuring it out. But there's only two paths.
Yeah.
Right? There's towards the truth or away from it.
That's right.
And we have the ability to live our lives. We have agency. We can choose who we want to be, where we want to be, how we want to be. And if we choose to repent, if we accept the gospel and fight not against Zion, but consecrate ourselves to building up Zion, reject the world, reject Babylon, reject the great and abominable church that is the world in which we live. That's where salvation lies.
Yeah.
That's how the atonement of Jesus Christ has power to change our hearts and to help us become like him, like he is.
Well, and this will lead us to what we'll talk about a little bit later, but what are the idols in our lives? What are the things in our lives that Babylon has taken a foothold in, that we value, and that it's a struggle for us sometimes to put the Lord first when other things become a priority, right? It's not that you have to totally get rid of anything in your life that you enjoy. What you've got to be cognizant of and aware of is, what is any idol that gets in the way of me putting the Lord first and doing his will and being able to hear the Spirit and act when prompted, right? And so if I go back to sports a lot, because at one time that was a major part of my life, participating in, watching, analyzing, listening to sports talk radio, all of that. And at a certain point, as my love of truth and the gospel increased, I started to realize I didn't realize how much of an idol that was for me. I put it on too high of a pedestal. Now, if you can get to a point where it's like, I'll listen to it when it's convenient, or I'll watch a game if it's really not getting in the way of other good things I could be doing. It's not that you have to totally exclude those things, but it's when they get in the way and become an idol.
There's a time and a place that's appropriate.
Yeah, that's right. And you've got to be a watchman on the tower for yourself and say, what am I doing that is getting in the way? Is this taking too much time? Is this preventing me from serving and doing righteous things in my life, whether it's for my children or my family or those that are close to me, whomever? If it gets to the point where it's hard for me to give this up, to turn this off, to go do something else, okay, that's something to think about. Yeah. But if you can say, you know what, this game's good, but I can get up and go do something else, doesn't matter, then your heart's probably in the right place.
And it takes a level of humility, it's self-awareness to get there. And that's part of the process of applying the gospel, and it's part of conversion, right? We talked a lot about this in our Gospel Mysteries podcast on conversion. Yeah. That it's a process, right? A lot of people have testimonies, but they're not yet converted. Yeah. Right? They know that the gospel is true, but their heart has not been shifted in a manner that it's actually changing how they think and what they do with their time. That's right. And where they focus their efforts in their day-to-day.
Maybe a better analogy would even be social media or, the news or something like that. It's so easy to get sucked into that stuff. And it's fine. If you can open it up and click on it for 5-10 minutes, no big deal. But when you're sitting there at night for an hour and a half scrolling through whatever feed of whatever preferred social media you have, that's a problem. There's so many other better things you could be doing with your life.
Hit that like button, leave us a comment, subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate it.
They may seem like little things, but liking, commenting, it helps the algorithm push our content out to more people. So it's our small way of sharing the gospel in a social media age.